Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, Comic Frontline, and today I'm doing a topic video on top 5 shows that jumped the shark. So, top 5 jump the shark TV moments. The person who recommended this was Sasamichan, so if you want to go check out their channel, please go in the description below and there'll be a link for that. And if you guys have any recommendations for topic videos, please tell me in the comments below, and if I answer them, that means in a couple of weeks I'll either be on Comic Uno, Comic Frontline, because I double dose my topic videos. Usually for Comic Frontline I have them every Sunday, and for Comic Uno I have them every Thursday with my comic book reviews. But let's talk about this topic, which is top 5 jump the shark TV moments. So where did this TV lingo come from, this TV trope? Where did it come from? It actually came from Happy Days, because the Fonz literally jumped the shark, and that's where the show went to crap. I honestly haven't watched the episode, but I do know the reference. So that's where it came from, and that's actually where that thumbnail came from, if you're wondering. So that is the moment where if a show goes downhill really quickly because of something that happened, that is what jump the shark means. So I have a top 5 list, so I'm going to go 5 all the way to 1. So what is my 5th jump the shark moment for a show? And that is Roseanne wins the lottery. Not a humongous Roseanne fan, but I've seen pretty much every episode of Roseanne. It's Nick at Night, so you end up watching every episode of whatever comedies on Nick at Night. Friends, which I obviously previously saw before Nick at Night. Everybody Hates Chris, all these shows that were on Nick at Night. George Lopez, I've seen every episode of because of Nick at Night, because I watch TV at night. So Roseanne was on Nick at Night when I was a kid, so, and growing up, so I watched pretty much every episode of Roseanne. So when did it go downhill was definitely the lottery episode where she wins the lottery. And then, I would say the last episode, if that counts for jumping the shark, because some people love the last episode because it just so toned to her character that she'd just make up shit. That is what happened in the last issue, but in the last episode, I feel, honestly, that was like a slap in the face for her fans. You're following the show for, what, 8 years, and then you find out, like, pretty much the whole show is obviously fake, and then, obviously it's a TV show, so everything's fake, but it's still a story. You're continuing it, and you're like, what? I invested all this time to learn that this didn't even actually happen in this story? So that was a moment where I thought I jumped the shark, and then, you know, Dan got the heart attack. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that show went crazy. And for me, the last episode was jump the shark moment, too. Alright, number 4 is actually another comedy, which is another show I've seen every episode of, Scrubs. And when did it jump the shark was the last season, which they did not need. It was season 9, the reboot season. It was not at Sacred Heart anymore. It wasn't at a hospital. It was at this new school. I think Sacred Heart actually was knocked down and made into the school. JD was like in 2 episodes. It was who was even in that series? I don't even remember from the regular cast. It was JD was not in the series. Elliot wasn't in the series. Turk was in the series. I think the janitor was in the series. I think Dr. Cox was in it. But honestly, a lot of the characters left. The new characters pretty much sucked. And I think it lasted maybe like 13 episodes. I always think of the last episode of season 8 when JD leaves the hospital. That is where I think of that last episode. It's actually one of my favorite last episodes, and it did make me cry in the end. So I remember I was bawling when I saw that last episode because I was a big Scrubs fan. But yeah, the reboot, I don't even count. That's jump the shark moment. Don't even count. It doesn't exist. Which I also should count another show that I didn't even add on to this. So I'm going to have an honorable mention. I'm just looking at my list. Honorable mention goes to Angel, when Cordelia is possessed by whatever her name was. I honestly don't even watch that season because I'm a really big Cordelia fan. And I hate that season where she's possessed in season 4 to season 5. I have not watched all those seasons. I've only watched season 1 to season 3. So when Cordelia goes up to the powers that be, that is the last episode for Angel for me. And then I think You're Welcome. I watched that episode. That's an episode that counts, like a bonus episode. But that is when that show jumped the shark, where Cordelia left and was possessed by somebody. Like, you had Charisma Carpenter on the show, but you made her into a different character. Like, you could have so many more moments with that character, a whole season of moments with her, but you screwed that up. So that's an honorable mention. Sorry, I just had to mention that. Alright, number 3 is this is my opinion. I know people are going to disagree, but The Walking Dead, everything after season 1. I still watch The Walking Dead. I like the show. I think it has good moments, but I think it did jump the shark of what it was after season 1. I think season 1 was actually a perfect season. It's the reason I got into the show. And it could have ended at season 1. And I think it was planned to be a mini-series, but it did so well on AMC, they're like, let's do more. So I feel like it has jumped the shark at moments. There are a lot of slow episodes. There's good things too, but I feel like most what we're waiting for is death. And that's it. You know, I want to see more of the story arcs really unfold. And at least for the show, I feel like it did jump the shark a little with season 1. That was where it was perfect. Alright, number 2 is Vampire Diaries after Stefan becomes a doppelganger. I think totally that's when the show jumped the shark. I mean, it's still going on, so I can't tell you if it could go back. It could be really good after. It could be like Supernatural, where I heard like there's seasons that were kind of screwed up and then they got back to what they were all about. And I think Vampire Diaries has a possibility of doing that because it just got renewed for season 6. But I really have been disappointed with season 5, and I don't get why Stefan had to be a doppelganger. And a lot of the story arc things, like the Traveler, Catherine being in Elena's body, don't make sense to me. A lot of supporting characters that I love aren't used that much and aren't being progressed, so that is where I felt where the show jumped the shark. Number 1 on my list is Heroes, everything after season 1. I think Heroes had the perfect season 1. I actually talked to a lot of people about this, and a lot of people agree that its season 1 is probably one of the best season 1s ever. And that show was very, very popular when it was on because so many people were shocked by it. It was such a good show. It's season 1's like, you want to know who Siler is. There's so many great moments. Who, you know, I have the sign right here. Save the cheerleader, save the world. Like, what's going to happen with that? Why do we have to save the cheerleader? So it's some really great moments there. The characters were great. I think the story arcs were performed perfectly. And also, it had that grounded element. And then Heroes went off to a carnival. Claire Bennett had a wig. There's all these things that went off with this show. I like season 2 for what it was. A lot of people hate season 2. I did not really like season 3 that much, but honestly, like, I like these seasons anyways. I love Heroes for what it was. Season 4, when they went to the carnival, that was pushing it. But season 3 for me wasn't horrible. I liked the Catalyst thing. You know, I thought there was actually some really good stories there. I've seen worse shows, but I think it did jump the shark because of how perfect season 1 was. And then after the writer's strike, it just went downhill so badly. I feel bad because it was such a good show. Can't wait for the comic to come out though, because I feel like right in that series finale when Claire reveals to the world that they exist, these superpowered people exist, that was like a great moment. I remember I couldn't wait for the next season, and it got canceled. So I can't wait to see it continue. But those are my jump the shark moments. Please tell me in the comments below if you agree. And that honorable mention too that I just squeezed in the middle there because I totally forgot about it until I was reading my list. Please tell me what you thought. Do you agree with me? What jump the shark moments do you have for TV that kind of made the show? Yeah, that's a jump the shark moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, if you have any recommendations for topic videos, please tell me in the comments below. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.